Okay, starting to break down the motor. We're going to pull the crank pulley, harmonic balancer. One thing, obviously, I don't think motor mounts are supposed to do that. Spark plugs, heads, try to get the heads off first, pull the lifters out, then we'll flip the motor over, take the oil pan off. I get this thing down, get the crankshaft out so that we can do some machining. So let's get started. Hopefully that's enough light you can see. Usually as I'm going, try to keep things put together, Ziploc bags, get a Sharpie, write down what you took off so you can find it later. Let's try to see if this gets this crankshaft bolt out. Worked. Harmonic balancer puller. Alright. So, one thing I tend to do to justify all the do-it-yourselfing around my shop is I get a job that needs a specific special tool. I get that tool as kind of like the cost of not paying a mechanic to do stuff. So this is a special 3-jaw puller for this style of harmonic balancer. So, what you probably shouldn't do is pull this with an impact, but I'm going to. These do bend and deflect, but it gets them going. So, harmonic balancer pulled. We'll probably need this crank bolt to bar the motor over at some point. Put this in here. graveyard of used parts. Trying not to get absolutely filthy. Okay, so let's just keep going. What else can we take apart? $10 mil. You know what? Let's work on the heads. And my 8 mil is outside. So, got the harmonic balancer pulled. Spark plugs are out all the way around. You see there's a lot of carbon buildup. How bad is this side? Even better. Valve cover gasket, obviously leaking just a little bit. It's gross. Gross in here. Knock this AC compressor bracket off. Take off the motor mounts. If it wasn't for the fact they weren't rotten, I would just leave them on. But it is what it is. Okay, so what I've done is taken these 8mm fasteners, removed the rockers, and I took this pizza box. I don't know how much it's going to matter, but I'll try to keep up with them and put them back where they were if I can reuse them, or if this motor isn't just totally pooched. So on the heads you've got 15mm fasteners and a row of 10mm fasteners. Just gonna zip those out, pull the head off. Bunch of crud, coolant, stuff like that's gonna come gushing out. Hopefully this pan catches a little bit of it. We'll see. These fasteners are one-time use, which is very common. In newer motors. Just bypass block off out of the way. Take this 10mm out. Put this bypass back in, maybe. Ready for the mess. Could have been worse. Wrong kind of paper towels, but I'm not putting this back together. It is anyways. Alright, so we have two 10 mils for the lifter guides and the lifters. That lifter is hammered. As I was worried about. Put this fastener back in so I don't, hopefully I probably don't lose it. Probably will. It'll be fine. Look great. Okay. We're out of places to lay things down. Sure. Put this in here. I'm not reusing any of the lifters. So well, that one's got a nice scratch all the way down it. It's concerning. Also scratched. Good. Not bad. Okay. So, look down in there, see cam lobes that are scratched. And then that number one had a collapsed lifter one time. And that number one cam lobe is hammered. Alright, well, let's keep taking it apart. Get the other head off. What do you say? Get some more mess on the floor. Alright. This is a basically surgical theater level of cleanliness in this garage. Foreign material in my bearings. So this is a Gen 4 Vortec. So you have cylinders, I know for sure 1 and 7 are AFM. So the lifter has this spring on top. What that does is when that cylinder deactivates, it soaks up that motion on the cam lobe, but doesn't allow the valve to open and close. And they do fail. Part of it is, I think you really have to stay on top of general maintenance oil changes to keep all those galleys, everything that gotta get pumped up with oil, full of oil. I don't know, I could be wrong. Oh my. Okay. Okay, all of the lifters are out, heads are off. It ain't much. We start stripping it down, and they're not super complicated. I will notice is, as far as like ring ridge goes, like you can't really, there's not even anything you can hook your finger on. And if you can see, there's actually still crosshatch. And none of these cylinders I'm looking at are scored. So these flat top pistons. Alright, people who know more than I do, I thought that flat top pistons came in the 4.8 and not the 5.3. This is a 4.8 5.3 block. It's a Gen 4. VIN number says it's a 5.3, but it has flat top pistons. I thought the 5.3 had dished pistons. Huh. Okay, well, we'll see what we got when we order parts, if we get the right things or not. I'm gonna get this rolled over, just make more of a mess in the garage, and then get the oil pan off, I think, and see if we can find any carnage. I kind of want to take the oil pan off from the bottom, that way if there's any trash or metal in it, you know, I'll catch it. It'll be still be in the oil pan, it won't be flipped over inside the block. So I think that's kind of what I'm planning to do. Let's see if we can make that happen. Little sludgy. Glittery. There's no big bumps or anything anyways. Alright, flip it over. What happens when you put a head gasket in a can into your block. Now, does this mean it found a crack and sealed on it, or is that just the most stagnant place in the coolant passage where it stopped? Don't know. See if we can figure. There. So, borrow a little light from you guys. Oh yeah, it's ready for a turbo. I don't know. That's got to be, something's got to be done. All right, so I had to put this thing back on the engine hoist to reset how these were bolted in to where it's more secure and less likely to fall and kill me. So next, start pulling rod caps. What I did do is I took my little engraver and I etched numbers down the back so I can put everything back the way it comes out. They may be marked somewhere else, but it's not going to hurt. Had a little scribe in it. So yeah, let's take these pistons out, see what we got. Ooh, that crank is worn. Hell. Those rod bearings. We'll clean them up and look at them in a minute. Try not to beat the walls of the cylinder up with the connecting rod as you push it out. Like that. I mean, I don't know, I'll have to clean it up and look at it. Oh, yeah, do it like that. It's good. Not really. I mean, they're scored, but I think it could be worse, considering this is a 300,000 mile. But that's what I was saying. How this is not smooth where it's been machined. So you actually take this, score it, and then break them. And that actually makes for a stronger fit. But it also means they only go on one way. Okay, so I've got all the pistons pulled and laid out. They were studded, like for the windage tray, studded connectors on the outside, bearing caps, bolts on the inside, 15 millimeters, 13 millimeters. Took them off kind of from the center out. I don't know if it makes a difference or not. Kicking my tools over. We're going to take the bearing caps off. And it'll be our first look at the bottom end. It said rod journal. Man, don't look bad at all. Basically, clean as a surgical theater. Perfect environment for building motors. Okay. About to have this block stripped. I know I gotta figure out this oil plunger has to come out and get replaced. But you can see, man, that #1 cam bearing has some beauty marks on it. Okay. Cylinder walls don't look bad at all. Maybe a little ball hone action. See if I wonder if the crank bolt is the same. It is not. So yeah, but look, it's fine threaded. Okay. Sneak a camshaft out. Oh, well, yeah, see, there's this cool thing called a camshaft retainer plate. Are you serious? Okay, got these broken loose. Gonna go ahead and try and extract this camshaft. bad the cam. Look at the sludge buildup in these cam bearings. Wide open tolerances probably. And this front, look at this front cam bearing is pitted. You probably can't see it because of the light washing it out, but it's pitted. So is the rear one. So that's probably pretty good. Okay, so parts are in the solvent tank. It's coming pretty clean. Simple green. Getting there. Soaking this over a little bit. Clean out the ring grooves some this evening. Just keep letting that do its work. One thing we didn't do is we had the motor upside down. Let's take off the valley cover or the lam. So we'll go ahead and knock that out. See what's under here. What size? 13 millimeters. There's the AFM. If you did a delete, you would put, I heard you can hammer dowels in there, but you have to have a tune in the right camshaft. So oil, barbell is right here. And that's going to have to be replaced. I'm guessing you take this out in order to access it. So we'll see. I don't know. I can see the barbell. That's a freeze plug. Maybe you put a stick in there. Go. One empty block. Knock out some cam bearings. Ball hone. Pressure wash. And assembly is the reverse of disassembly, but with more patience and torque wrenching. Okay, so got the cam bearings knocked out. Block is disassembled. Got the barbell out of the block. So now it's time to hot tank it with my hot tank kit. And also try and degrease this little Purple Power concentrate. So let's see how this thing looks after the first round of cleanup. All right. Okay, so first round of cleanup. Still have to hone, and it'll probably get another rinse after honing it out. Just make sure we spray out all of the, much of the whatever grit but not bad. Okay, block is about as cleaned up as I think I'm gonna get it. I get some diesel fuel and ball home and see if we can't make things worse. See? I'm warning you now, I really don't know if this is the right way to do this. I'm working on what I've read and what I've watched. Precision machining. There, look, see what you think. I could keep going until all of that's out. I guess I probably should, but I think that's as much as I'm gonna do. I don't know. You probably, guys who know what you're doing are gonna be like, look at this moron. Been called worse. Alright, so we're back out of the hot tank again. By hot tank, I mean pressure washer. And I'm going to get some oil. So you see it's already starting to flash off rust. So I'm going to get oil in the boards on the rag. Try and prevent as much of that as I can while I am waiting for parts.